Okay, who likes Fortnite?
We like Fortnite! 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 We like
Hey guys, it's your boy Vicedets here, formerly known as Scam Likely. You may be wondering who this Vicedets guy is. It's me, the man in the dog suit. I made a video about how I was rebranding a while back. I'm going to leave a link up at the top here so that you can see it. My hand is not in frame. It's been a while since I've used this setup. I haven't streamed in a while with all the home improvement and home construction going on here, so I don't know how to set any of this up. Also, I try to do this in front of a green screen. I try to stand in front of it with a microphone like a lot of other professional looking YouTubers, and it just didn't work out. There's no need for that. It's incredible. I'm using the OST as background music for this review. Alright, so at the time of recording, I have no idea how long this video is. So because I use my webcam to do that, I moved my webcam, so now my setup is weird, and I forgot how to actually use my hands. I made a poll a while back asking what video game I should review next, and I put the choices as Fortnite Save the World, Monster Train, and one that actually wasn't a video game. It was just Tell the Acceptance Now story. That one actually got a vote, so whoever voted for that, thank you. Maybe someday. I assume nobody picked Monster Train because nobody has any idea what that is. And I would assume people actually did pick Save the World because there's some sort of morbid curiosity in trying to figure out why I would possibly review the dominant Zoomer shooter that has taken over the world. So Battle Royale and Save the World actually have two completely different stories. Battle Royale, despite being the simpler game, actually has a way more convoluted story and lore to it. Battle Royale it takes place on this island where there's a time loop, and then in the center of the island there's the 0 point, which is this core of the world that controls time and space, and then interdimensional entities are coming from all space and time to try and control it, and you have to fight them and everybody else on the island. There's this weird organization that tries to control it and keep everybody else away in order to make sure nobody escapes or enters the time loop. It's all very complicated, but that's okay because I don't have to explain it correctly to you. I'm not here to talk about Battle Royale. Save the World is a much simpler story. Save the World is about a storm that covers the world, and about Home Base, the organization of scientists, builders, and soldiers that are trying to rebuild the world. Home Base has access to this technology called the Storm Shield, which are machines that create an aura, an atmosphere, that pushes the storm back. You, as the commander of Home Base, lead your heroes and your allies to try and push back the storm, find survivors, rebuild society, build radar relays, and all that good stuff to try and build a better world for tomorrow. Home Base has a cast of NPCs and characters that are actually pretty charming. They're well written and they're pretty well developed. I mean, we're not talking like an Oscar-winning movie here, but we're saying that they don't suck. They're kind of funny, they're kind of charming, they're also a little smarmy, and sometimes they're actually kind of annoying, even if I do like them. Think about how in Marvel movies, everybody's really snarky and quirky, and everyone's got good one-liners and stuff, and you ever think about how, you just watch one Marvel movie after another, and then the second time around, everybody's a little more grating? That's basically Fortnite. After every mission, every character just seems to get a little more annoying. Your tolerance kind of wears down on them. But other than that, I mean, the characters, they're all pretty nice. They're pretty cool. I like them. They can just shut up every now and then. That'd be cool. That'd be great if they did that. You're probably wondering what the main difference between Battle Royale and Save the World is, where Battle Royale is entirely PvP, I mean, except for your friends who are playing with you, of course. But Save the World actually is entirely PvE. You're fighting monsters the entire time. You don't fight against other players. In fact, it's entirely cooperative. Players work together to build the fort, they work together to complete the mission objectives. The only time that players don't work together is when one person really wants to be a control freak and starts destroying everybody else's structures because he wants to be the only guy who builds around the objective, which sometimes I'm kind of cool, I don't want to spend my resources on this, and then other times I'm bro, let me help you, stop being a jerk, you suck at building anyway. There's a lot of different game modes, although to be fair and honest, a lot of them do revolve around variations of protect the objective. Gameplay loop is pretty simple for most of these missions. You and your team find the objective, you build a giant fort around it, put down traps around it, shoot the monsters that come when the actual waves start, and then win. Easy. Now some of these variations are you have to protect multiple objectives, to protect them in waves at a time, and then when the waves are over, you have to go out and find things in order to complete the mission. Other types of missions include things like rebuild the shelter, where you've got the shelter you have to protect, build a fort around it, and then monsters will come at waves in you. In you? Oh no. Where monsters will come to the fort and you have to defeat them in waves, and then in between waves, you have to go out and find repair parts. Another one there is rescue the survivors, where you actually don't have to build forts or run anything, but you do have to go find NPCs. The NPCs, the survivors, they'll have you do different things. Some are happy enough if you just go up and say hi to them. They're pretty lonely out there in their bunker in the wilderness. Other NPCs want things a little more complicated, like you have to find their med kit, which somewhere in the city, anywhere, you have a vague idea of just roughly 1/4 of the map, and you try and say, hey buddy, we've got medkits back at home base, and they're like, no, I really need mine. And I'm thinking, Jeff, we have them. You don't need yours. Resupply is one of my favorite ones. All you have to do is just collect materials. It's great. You don't have to build a fort. You have to kill some zombies, but like they're really easy to do. But for the most part, it's just finding materials, gathering things, and it's honestly the same shit my wife does in Animal Crossing, so she really has nothing to complain about if she says watching me do resupply missions that's boring. Nobody asks you to watch me anyway. And another one that I really like, which is a little difficult, but I like the challenge in it, is repair the radar grid. The radars are interesting. The radars appear on the map as 3D blueprints that you have to actually build to the specifications. You can't build them any other way. And doing that, trying to learn how to do it quickly is actually a really good way to learn how to build, and getting faster at building also translates over to the Battle Royale if you like to play both the Battle Royale and Save the World. So that's one that I actually really like to do if I ever want to practice and brush up on my building, which is the thing that I'm the most sucky at when it comes to Battle Royale. Another one of the main differences between Save the World and Battle Royale is the addition of classes. Now, classes, they each do their own different thing. There's 4 of them total, and each of these classes has a pool of abilities that the heroes that you find pull their 3 abilities from. So there's the ninja, which can double jump, and they have no fall damage, and their things usually revolve around using a sword and throwing stars, and actually if they get a kill with a melee weapon, they enter like this weird shadow mode where they actually deal more damage and run faster. They're pretty cool. Then there's the Outlander, which is my personal favorite class, which is super good at getting materials. They mine faster, they have this anti-material punch, which allows them to just punch through walls, and anything in between where they start and where they end is immediately destroyed, and they get all the materials for. They're really good for getting materials. I cannot stress this enough. In fact, they're also good at supporting the party because there are machines that are around the map that just randomly generate, and some of them include giant llama piñatas that everybody can contribute into beating the crap out of for free candy. Materials. There's a constructor, and they're big, they're beefy, and they have a unique tile that nobody else has access to, which fortifies and makes all of the walls and tiles that they create stronger. And then there's lastly the soldier, which they're good at shooting and then never stopping shooting. That's what they do. They shoot, they never stop. They kill everything. Soldier, they're simple. What do you want? You can level up your heroes, and not just your heroes, but you can also level up your schematics. Schematics are what you need and what you use to create weapons and traps, and you can actually level these schematics up in just not only just their level, but in their rarity too. Obviously, leveling up schematics makes them stronger, makes the weapons deal more damage, the traps deal more damage or have more uses, and you can upgrade their rarity as well, which is a little harder to do and require more rare resources, but you can do what I did. I got a silver common garbage trash rocket launcher schematic, and that's the only rocket launcher schematic I've gotten in like the 6 months that I've been playing this game consecutively. So what I did was I said, I don't like this garbage piece of crap schematic that I have, I'm just gonna make it better. And so with time and effort, I upgraded it all the way up to the top to a gold maximum level rocket launcher, which costs a small fortune every time I shoot it. But that's okay. every time I shoot it, everything dies. Now, one thing that is interesting, though, is that rather than using heroes to kill things to level up, you don't actually get experience from killing things. You get experience from doing missions, and all of your experience goes into pools for your heroes and your schematics. So you can just level them up however you wish. If you want to play your top level dude, but you have another dude who you also want to level up, you don't have to play as that weak dude in order to make him stronger. Just do a bunch of missions with your best guy, and then give all that experience to your second best guy. So I'm about 3/4 of the way through the main story mode, and I'm starting to see that we're going to get to the end soon. And for a lot of people who really like video games but never want them to end, generally you can trust that if the game was made in the last 3 years, there's going to be more DLC for it. But the main story for Save the World, it's done. They're not adding any more. But they do have a way to keep the game fresh in this mode called Ventures. Ventures is the seasonal mode that they have every 3 or 4 months. They swap out. They started doing it last summer, and now they're on the 4th venture, which is all piratey themed. It's pretty cool. The main reason this is good for veteran players is because you actually can't craft weapons here. You can only buy them from vending machines with materials that you find through mining. You can still craft forts and traps and stuff, but as far as weapons goes, you have to buy them, you have to find them. And your experience actually starts over from 0 in this mode, so it's basically like starting a new game all over again. There's limited edition, venture-related quest items, and characters, and heroes, and skins that you can only get through these, and you don't even have to have beaten the game in order to do this. I have a friend, I've got a couple friends who were actually a little lower level than me when it comes to the main story, so if I were to try and play the game with them, I've got to go back to an earlier mission so I can help them, which I don't mind. But if I wanted to play with a friend who's not as far in the story as me, then we can both go do a venture and we'll both be on an even foot. And that's another reason I actually really like these ventures. And actually, the second way they keep the game fresh is this thing called Storm Shield. The Storm Shield is your own personal fort. Now, normally whenever you go into a mission and you create a fort with your teammates, after that mission is over, all the materials and traps that you spent in order to create that fort around the objective, it's gone. C'est la vie. Bye-bye. But your Storm Shield is actually permanent, and it's unique to you. Everybody has their own Storm Shield. In fact, you actually have 4 different areas that you can do Storm Shield on, one for each major area of the game. During story mode, you actually use the Storm Shield quite a bit, and in order to unlock new areas, you have to unlock new areas in your Storm Shield zone, and by doing that, you just make the game hard, because then there's more points you have to defend. But once you've already beaten the game, you can still do Storm Shield, but you can create your own custom games there, custom game modes. You can design what types of monsters you want to fight, how they come, and there's actually a whole bunch of already pre-built game modes that you can select. There's daily challenges that give you a unique bonus. And as I said before, everybody has their own, but if you have a friend who actually wants to play on your Storm Shield, you can invite them along. In fact, you can even change permissions so that way they can help you build. It's interesting seeing how different people build differently. In Battle Royale, which is, I assume, what most people see being played, there's really only a couple ways to build, which is just build up, build ramps, build walls around you. But if you're actually trying to build a fort for tower defense, you're going to build it a little differently. You're going to build mazes, and you're going to build traps, and it's interesting to see how I build things versus how my friends build things. Fortnite has this very unique style to it, very unique as far as the heroes go and in the environment. The environment has a real retro-futuristic theme to it in a lot of areas. It's very cartoony, it's very old school actually. Fortnite Save the World, it's kind of like trapped in time. It's very retro. It's not modern at all. You don't see a lot of modern looking things. There are no flat screen TVs. All the cars are really old looking. In Battle Royale, you do see a lot of newer looking cars and newer looking things, but in Save the World, it definitely has its own theme, its own style to it. It's a good looking style too. You find a lot of the style, a lot of the items and assets actually cross over from Save the World to Battle Royale. It was really bizarre going from being on a big kick in Save the World, going back to Battle Royale and seeing how many assets are actually shared. One of the things I actually really respect too is that the game's really consistent as far as the style goes. Even years later, after Save the World has finished completion, all the new heroes and characters that they make and release, they still stay consistent with Save the World, which is, it's been years. I also want to give a real good shout out to the music. Like, the people who made the music, the composer, the artists who made it, it's incredible. a lot of the songs are just gorgeous. In fact, this one that I've got playing right now, this is my favorite. The artist did not need to go this hard on the strings, but they did it. They did it for you, for Fortnite, for a zoomer shooter. Okay, so the 4 things I always talk about the story, the gameplay, the aesthetic, and the price. So as far as the price goes, I think it's totally worth it. The game's like 15 bucks normally. At the time of recording this, it's on sale for like 12. It's actually a pretty good price considering how long you actually do play the game. And there is new content being added, so, you know, there's always being more for your buck, right? It's a decent game with a little bit of grind. I have to admit there is grind at some point. I've been stuck on a level which surprisingly isn't a water level. Normally the only levels I get stuck on are water levels, but there's this mission where you have to find a really specific thing, and I've been stuck on that for a while, but you do end up playing a lot, and it's not artificially stretched out like a lot of modern games are, where they make things hard or they make them take a long time on purpose just to drag it out. If you don't like Battle Royale, which I definitely get because it took a long time for it to grow on me, you actually still might like this game anyway, because it's not Battle Royale, it's Save the World. It's 3D, base building, tower defense, third-person shooter, zombie shooter. It's got a lot of elements to it that's not Battle Royale, so even if you think you don't normally like the normal Fortnite, which, again, I get, you still might like this. If you've got 12 bucks and you're looking to try something new, I actually would definitely recommend this game. I unironically think this is good. I know. Fortnite, we like Fortnite. Yeah. So before I go, I just want to say thank you guys for watching this. I do appreciate it. If you guys want to see me do something specific in the future, leave a comment below. If you have any critiques about this, leave a comment below. Like, subscribe, whatever. And I'll see you guys next time when I review Monster Train.